Here's that Testors Dodge 426 Hemi. I built this a couple of weeks ago. This is the 8th visible engine that I put together, and probably the most challenging, I would say. This engine was manufactured in China in 2004 for Testors, and they really did a beautiful job manufacturing this model. The parts are very accurate, precise. There is no flash whatsoever. Very, very nicely manufactured kit. That's 350 parts, and some of them are as small as about half a grain of rice. So you don't want to be building this over your shag carpet, or maybe for any carpet. And it's really joy to build. I enjoyed it very much. Very challenging. It's rated a 3, I presume, out of 5. I would probably give it a 4 out of 5. And I never want to see a 5 out of 5. One other thing with this model, as opposed to most of the other visible engines that are out nowadays, this is glued together, not screwed together. So once you put something together down there in the engine, it's there. You're not going to get back in to correct anything. Many of the parts are painted, just the way in this engine, everything that's not black or gray is painted. Also, it's non-operating spark plugs in this, but it is absolutely a beautiful model. And this is what you get after many hours of building. This is the final result. As I say, everything on here that's not clear, chrome, or black or gray has been painted. It's very satisfying, very challenging in my estimation, but really the most beautiful engine that I've put together to date. Some of the most real impressive things is the clear plastic is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's like crystal glass. It's really smooth. It's really clear. It really sparkles. Very nicely detailed. The castings are very well done. One disadvantage of not being able to get parts, if you lose one, or in my case, I put the decal here in the wrong place. Should have been a little higher on the air cleaner, but I can't order another one. So pretty much that's where that's going to stay. One other thing with this engine, it operates on 3 AA batteries that are in series, so the yield on that is 4.5 volts. 4.5 volts barely gets out of its own way. It's really, really slow. In my case, I had a slight drag on the crankshaft, and at 4.5 volts, it prevented the full rotation on the engine. So what I did, see if I can get this out here. Oop, there it is. What I did, I isolated the drive motor, and I'm running that on 9 volts. I put this switch in here. I didn't want to drill a hole in the base to mount the switch, because I rarely operate this thing, except for the first time that I will operate it to see if I was able to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this on and run it for you, and get a look at, see what it runs like. So this noise, the engine sound here, still works off the button. Incidentally, this has a button. Some of the other ones had a lever on here that varied the RPMs of the motor. This just had a button, so all you got was a 4.5 volt rotation out of it, and of course the engine sound. So I'm going to turn this thing on, and Just let it run till it's done with its cycle. You'll notice it does have a squeak. Yeah, sounds like birds flying out of a cave. But there again, unless I try to pop off that oil pan and grease the bearing, the crankshaft bearings, I'm not going to eliminate that squeaking. One other thing I would mention on this, it's really hard to see anything going on internally with this motor. You know, it's just so jam-packed with stuff. One of the best vintage motors for being able to see how a motor operates is the Mustang 289 V8, which is manufactured by a German company, Francis. There again, and that's made in China also. So this is the just the noise of the actual drive motor. To me, this is just most beautiful, just sitting on a shelf somewhere. It's really nice. It's really a sweet motor. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So, there you have it. Testors 426 Hemi engine. It's a dandy. It was a little bit over $200 plus tax, plus shipping. But if you don't mind spending $200 for a motor, it's something you're really going to enjoy, and you're really going to find it a challenge, I believe, unless you're an expert model builder. It's the most complex model that I ever put together, and I'm glad that I bought it, and I'm glad I put it together, and I'm glad that I was successful. So I wish you luck. I hope you found something worthwhile in this video. Thanks for sticking in there. Take care. Poppy out.